So things are a meeting of potential and patterns. And it's true at all layers of being. And people have been bringing this up in different sciences and philosophy of science to try and explain how it is that you can jump from one science to the other.
Right.
So when, let's say, atoms jump together into molecules that chemists will study, you jump from physics to chemistry. And when you do that, it actually we have not like reduced chemistry to physics by no means. Like it doesn't seem to really work this way. What's the best way to talk about it really is that when atoms combine together, you'll see the emergence of something new that is informed by higher level patterns. So for instance, the classic example is water and oxygen and hydrogen. If you look at oxygen and hydrogen, like they're gases at room temperature. Like oxygen allows us to like breathe. Hydrogen is flammable. Like they're these kinds of gases. If you combine them together, they become water, which is a liquid, completely different, and it can hydrate us, allow us to live, and so on. So you have the emergence of new causal powers. Like the potential of the oxygen and the hydrogen becomes informed by a pattern of water, and you have this meeting of water, an actual thing,
and you
by
said
a meeting
you
of
can't reduce chemistry to physics, so it actually starts playing by a different set of rules.
Yeah. I mean, it's continuous, but it's different. Like people have been trying to reduce chemistry to physics, and it really doesn't seem like it works. Even water, even like the example I just gave of like trying to reduce water to H2O doesn't actually work. It's like maybe you could say it's H2O on average. Really, like water is like there's a bunch of free oxygen and free hydrogen, like all interacting together in complex ways, and it's from all of this mess that you have actual water. Like people haven't really reduced it, and
so there's some nature of water that seems to come in and inhabit those two gases and turn them into, right? I mean, is this kind of coming down to the nature thing of like what it really is?
Yeah, I mean, Aristotle would say a form. Like you have the form of water, the pattern of water, that is coming down and informing the oxygen and hydrogen.
Right.
So it's the same thing that happened at the bottom layer of physics. You have potential, you have like raw materials that get informed by some higher level pattern, and it's the same thing that happens
the process
at higher
that
level.
seems so confusing. Is just like and that's where sort of a version of dualism starts to be really useful, because it's like, okay, well, we exit the system and then we poke it in. We poke like this hand from the reality of chemistry reaches into physics and turns it into something. You know, it's like it's a miracle, right? That's what it seems like, anyways.
But we don't want to be dualistic, because we want to say that this happens at all of the layers. Because like you'll have the same thing again. I mean, you can say that the potential of the bottom layer of physics is potential relative to particles, which are potential relative to atoms, which are potential relative to molecules, which are potential relative to cells, which are potential relative to animals, which are potential relative to angels, like cities and marriages and so on, which are potential relative to like the entire cosmos, and the entire creation is. It gets tricky when you try to talk about God, because strictly speaking, God is beyond even potential. But